We're welcoming back NFL analyst Joe Gavazzi, and we're going to break down these wild card weekend games. And the last one we're breaking down is the Packers at the Redskins. And again, as Joe alluded to, all four home teams are underdogs in this opening round, and that is very interesting. Now, this particular line went one way and then bounced back another, was a pick 'em. Now it's Packers -1. Joe likes the Packers -1, and I'm wondering, is it because of experience? Or what are the determining factors? So, Joe, first of all, it's great to have you back. Why is it that the Packers absolutely is just confirmed in your mind that this is going to be a winner in this wild card weekend?
Well, first of all, let's get to one basic handicapping theory in the NFL before we get hung up on who the favorite and who the underdog is. At the conclusion of this NFL season, if the NFL betting line in a game was 6 or less, the team who won the game straight up covered the number 90% of the time, again this season, as it has been in recent years. That's not to say you shouldn't shop for half points of value. That is ultimately important, of course. But before you get worried about the roles of road dogs, road favorites, home dogs, home favorites, know that the fundamentals often overcome that. And in competitively priced games, you pick the winner, you'll be on the right side 90% of the time. That being said, let's go to this virtual pick'em game between the Redskins and the Green Bay Packers. And let's talk about those Green Bay Packers who looked just horrible coming down the stretch, losing their last 2 games last week. In fact, the last 2 games, the offensive line for Green Bay offered virtually no protection for veteran QB Rodgers, who was sacked 14 times in those 2 games. Can the Green Bay line improve enough to give Rodgers some time to be as successful as we all know he can be? They certainly have the experience with multiple playoff years under their belt, 5, I believe. So a big experience advantage goes to Green Bay in this one, especially knowing that Washington ascended to playoff status after only winning 4 games last year. And teams with that great an improvement year over year are often just happy to be here, as I believe the Redskins are, and do not perform up to expectations in the playoffs, as I believe the Redskins will not this year. Redskins have been successful running Gruden's West Coast offense, and those fancy numbers accruing to Cousins, including over 70% completions, are simply because he's dinking his way down the field. Green Bay has seen that all before, that defense, and will have no trouble slowing down that part of the Redskins' offense. Washington, however, one of the teams that has been outgained for the season, and also Washington, a team who played only 3 winning teams all year. Now, albeit on the road, when they suited up against those 3 teams, the Jets, New England, and Carolina, they were absolutely crushed in all 3 of those games. That's what happens when you make a playoffs in a division that has losing teams like the Giants, the Eagles, and the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Redskins are in over their head this week. Even though they have the home field advantage, I like veteran playoff team Green Bay to get the victory in this one.
Okay, that's an interesting breakdown. This is one of those games, Joe, for me, I just got to stay away because I can't get the feel for it. I was talking in depth with Ted Savransky from Vegas out there, and he was telling me, because we were bringing up, talking about Mike McCarthy, the coach of the Packers, and I've seen, you hear about sometimes a coach gets stale, he's just not effective anymore, and I heard him in some interviews this year, and I don't understand how this guy still has his job. I think quality players has kept him his job. He does not at all excite me and being one that's ingenious in the defensive side or the offensive side. So I was talking with Teddy about that, and he told me that Aaron Rodgers is not at all pleased with this head coach. And it would not surprise me if they lose this game. I think it's time for McCarthy to go. He's worn out his welcome. But even if they advance a little, what are your thoughts on possibly a coaching change with the Packers, all right, down the road because of the chemistry, and now you've got some problems with your quarterback and your coach? Any thoughts on that?
Well, I think he's the kind of coach that always downplays the performance of his team in the media, and perhaps that persona is what is being projected. And of course, if that translates to a negative feeling among his team, that's certainly an issue. But as long as Green Bay keeps going to the playoffs, now 6 straight years, I don't think there's going to be a change in the head man there at Green Bay.
Okay. Okay, well, I just wanted to ask you about that. And, I like what Jay Gruden's doing, but I really agree with what you're saying. When they went on the road against three quality opponents, they absolutely got pounded. They got pounded. And is the home field advantage enough? Is the progress that they've made, in the last several weeks, is that enough? I don't think so because of the experience. I think Rodgers could put this one on his shoulders. And also, I really like, who I think is going to be a secret weapon for them because everybody talks about Eddie Lacy. Yeah, he's good and he's a beast, and the defenses, they key on him. But John Starks, his experience, and I'm telling you, that guy brings it. He's a horse, Joe, so look for him to maybe be a factor as well. Okay, everybody, you heard it. Joe Gavazzi loves the Packers, the experience in Washington to take that game this weekend, NFL wild card. Joe, thanks so much. I wish you the best of luck this weekend. I hope you just kill it, beat the book, and look forward to having you again back with us soon.
I look forward to talking to you guys out there again. As always, thank you, the SBR video team, for the opportunity, and good luck to you guys out there.